Hi, and welcome to Makeup Mugwump. My name is Leanne, and thank you for joining me. Tonight, it's nighttime here. Tonight, I've got a swatch party of 2 palettes from Wet n Wild that came out recently. I just got the second one today, so I'll swatch both of them for you. But first, I want to show you something else that came in the mail today. It is from a YouTuber who I watch and love. She's got her own brand. I love it so much. This is from Fat Girl Flow. If you also are one of these, go order your shirt. I love it so much. I'd say I'd wear that tomorrow, but I'm not sure. We might be eating something messy. So if you also are a messy eater, you understand what I'm talking about. A white shirt and something messy. You don't want to just risk it. Anyway, so the 2 palettes that, I'm so sorry, random. So the 2 palettes that I have for you today are from Wet n Wild. I have the Coffee Cat palette and the Ice Cream Bee palette. And these came out relatively recently. I got the Ice Cream Bee first, and then I placed another order with Ulta to go ahead and get the Coffee Cat because it was adorable. And so I went ahead and got it. So let's do a swatch party tonight. I'll swatch both of these and we'll talk a little bit about the finishes and all that jazz. Love it. Okay. So if you haven't caught, but shameless plug time, we're friends. So if you, if you haven't looked recently at my channel, the last video that I posted actually went up earlier this morning, today, because I filmed it like in the middle of last night because I was up really late because I was in this room and this vanity area here was giving me anxiety because it was so full of stuff and I needed to put it away. So what I did was I set up my tripod and I cleaned my vanity. And so I filmed it. So if you want to see someone clean a vanity of a disgusting amount of products, check it out. Okay, let's start with Coffee Cat. So these palettes are 4, 8, 12, 16 eyeshadows. You have mattes and shimmers, and they are glorious. You've got the neutral Coffee Cat, and then you have the beautiful pastels of Ice Cream Bee. These are scented. Let that sink in for a second. So Ice Cream Bee theoretically smells like ice cream. There is a sweet scent, but it does not smell like ice cream to me. There's a sweet scent, but it's not like Too Faced sweet. There's also some delicious chemicals. You know what I mean? It ain't right. There's a little bit, there's a little wang to it, but some people in the Midwest, that word means something totally different. So if you're from the Midwest, I don't mean that. But the Coffee Cat smells like chemical coffee. So in case that's just something right up your alley, the scent may bother you a bit. I was sick earlier last week, and I used a shade from this, and I was a little bit put off by it. So it's pretty strong, but it does dissipate after a little while, as do most things when you put them on your face. So I have a lip gloss, one from each collection. I have a coffee lip gloss and I have an ice cream lip gloss from these collections. They do smell, the coffee one smells like coffee and the ice cream one smells like coffee. Those don't smell chemically. The lip glosses do not smell weird. It's just the eyeshadow palettes. Okay, shut up and swatch. All right, so let's do this. So these do have shade names, which is odd. You know, they're on the back. I don't think you care, and neither do I. So what I'm going to do is I'll swatch across and down and kind of tell you a little bit about the finish of each one. And yeah, so we've got a matte cream shade, a shimmery cream shade, a little champagne-y shade, a matte light brown, and a shimmery light brown. See those 4 shades there. Let's get the stuff ready to wipe our hands off as we swatch. That is the song this evening. Welcome to Makeup Mugwump. All right, next row. We have a matte, kind of medium brown, a wow, a copper shimmer that's like, wow. A ruddy brown, like a red brown matte, and then a darker red brown matte. I mean, these are kind of variations on a theme in that second row there. Next up, we've got more brown. You're welcome. Okay, we've got a medium neutral brown matte. We've got a, it's kind of a mustardy brown, but it's not really mustard. So don't let that excite you. Wow, that's a weird one. Hang on. This is like a copper with a gold glitter. How strange. And then a darker brown matte. Y'all, these are pulling so much like the same shades, because they are. So that's the thing. This coffee smell. Whoa. All right, last row. Okay, we've got really? Like, really? Let me do it higher up. Just kidding. We've got a kind of a red copper, a matte red brown. I'm calling it a red brown, but you know what I mean? Like a really warm brown. And then this one has glitters in it, but they aren't really showing. This shade here is like one of those mattes with glitter in it. And then this is a true brown matte. Y'all, this scent. Y'all, this scent is... So that's the Wet n Wild Coffee Cat and Chemicals. Coffee Cat Chemical palette. Whoa. Okay. Do we like it? Do we love it? I don't know if we love it. I'm definitely going to use it. It seems to be, for me, I'm a fair girl, obviously. And there seems to be a good range of light to dark. Much of it is mid-tone. So for darker girls, you're starting here as light. So that's a thing. But it does go fairly deep. There's a good balance of shimmer and matte. There's way more matte than shimmer in this bad boy. So I don't know. I'm going to take it off because I can't with the smell, which probably doesn't bode well for this because it's a lot. I don't know. No staining. That's a good thing. I usually forget to mention that, but you know, if something stains my arm after being on it for a hot minute, it's definitely staining my eyelid, and that kind of sucks. And I have fair eyelids like the rest of me. And so if if like I'm wearing the Alyssa Edwards palette from Anastasia, that I wear that pink, my eyelid gonna be pink for a hot minute, because like 2 days, because it's gonna stain, but no staining. So that's great. So let's do our ice cream bee. A lot more shimmers in this one, many more shimmers in this one, and some pastels with a couple of neutrals in here, a little bit of neutral. And the oddest shade in the pan is one I've actually used before. It's this one, and you can kind of see it's a little bit marble. There's like a pink and blue marbling to it. Very strange. This one's got some cool colors in it, a duochrome and some interesting shades. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to swatch all the way across, and we'll talk about, you know, what we see here. So this first row has some interesting shades. The first shade is it is a duochrome. It looks white in the pan and glittery. It is a topper shade. There it is. Hold on, let me pick it up again. It is a topper shade that flashes blue. It's beautiful. The next shade is a matte cream shade. Then we've got this mustard color, and it is a kind of a true mustard. See that? But there's glitter in it, and the glitter is like copper color. And then that marbled shade pulls a white gold. This one is just interest. There's just some interesting shades in it, which is why I bought this one first. Because Coffee Cat did not look like it was something unusual, and this one did, and I was right. This one is the unusual one. Next row, we've got a bunch of shimmers and some really pretty colors. So the first is a pink shimmer, like a light fuchsia pink, really. The next shade is another topper kind of shade. It is a light pink glitter. Let me get a little bit more and see if I can get that to actually pull on camera. It's but it's truly a topper shade. You can kind of see it there. It's really not base pigment, but shimmer pigment, if you know what I mean. The next one is a gold. You can see it there on my wrist. And then the last shade here is probably the shade that I like. It's in my top 2 shades in this palette because it is that mint shimmer that is truly a beautiful mint color from the drugstore, and I appreciate that. All right, next row, we're gonna get my favorite shade in the palette. Not gonna tell you which one till we get there. All right, there is a lilac shimmer. I've put it next to the mint. You can hardly see it. Let's build that up a little bit too. Yeah, that's pretty. So there's a lilac shimmer. There is a matte mauve. There is a copper shimmer it's an orangey copper. It's really, really pretty. And I like that one a lot. And then, how am I gonna do, here, let's do it this way. Let's just do it this way. This. That is my favorite shade, and you can hardly see it. Hold on. Pinky swatches are hard. It is a duochrome. It is I'm gonna call this a dusty mint that flashes gold. It's this shade right here. This shade right here. It looks like a darker green. It really is there's a dustiness to it. It's a strange shade. It really, really is. But it's really pretty and very unique. I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes, and this one is a unique color to me, so I appreciate that. All right, last row, the darkest row. Oh, that one's a little interesting. Okay. We've got, get those on there. We've got a matte plum, a darkened kind of burgundy shimmer, a little bit of red reflex in that one, a little pinky red reflex, a matte brown, like a dark brown. And this last one is pulling black. It's one of those blackened plum shimmers. See that? Like it's kind of purpley plum, but it is pulling almost black because the base pigment is black in this. And so this is it. I mean, it's a good liner shade. It would be a good smoky shade anyway, but that's what that is. So here's the Ice Cream Bee. I do like this one much more than Coffee Cat. Number one, the smell is not nearly as offensive. And I like the smell of coffee. It's not that. It's that this doesn't actually smell like coffee. It smells like fake coffee. Chemical coffee. Like if you were like in some sort of dystopian, underground society after the nuclear apocalypse, and you lived underground for 55 years and your grandfather talked about what coffee was like. And so you go in the lab and using only the description of his memory of what coffee smelled like. It's like that. Please subscribe to my channel for more descriptions. Sorry, I like Ice Cream Bee. I think this is a unique palette, and this is something, it's not that you need it because there's lots of pastels in the world. There aren't that many decently pigmented pastels in the drugstore, so this gives it a 1-up, but also there are some very unique shades and finishes in this palette. So some duochromes, again, not common in the drugstore. And I do think it's pretty. It goes light to dark. There's enough darkness in that bottom row to do something with. Just some interesting shades. So out of the two, I would say Ice Cream Bee, if you're my skin tone, that will probably work for you. If you are in need of a neutral palette and you love the smell of dystopian memory of coffee, yeah, sure. But if you're really looking to see, this is the one I'd recommend. So yes, on this, on the other one. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you hanging out, and I'm sorry for who I am. But if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see some more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button. It's totally free. And then all of my new videos will show up in your subscription feed, and you won't miss a single one. Thanks so much. You'll have a great night. Bye.